this fourth video on the Telemann Sonata in F Dorian, we will consider cadenzas and what I am calling flourishes. Also, this video will conclude with a discussion of tempo relationships. Baroque concertos, of course, required the creation of cadenzas. Please see my website for examples of some cadenzas in Baroque and classical music. Baroque sonatas, however, do not normally have cadenzas added, although in the third movement of the sonata, I do see the opportunity for one. In the last measure of the third movement, I added several notes that elaborate the dominant chord on C. This cadenza is pretty much in tempo, since the measure moves immediately into the next movement. The music shown with the performance is from the authoritative version. When given the chance, I like to end a virtuosic movement with a flourish of notes. Thus, in the second movement, there's a wonderful chance to add many notes on the last line of music. The music shown in the performance is from the authoritative edition. In the last movement, I enjoy adding a downward scale in the second repetition at the end. The music shown in the performance is from the authoritative edition. I also add a trill at the end, as is commonly done to conclude important sections and movements. It is mystifying to me that performers play movements in Baroque sonatas at tempos that bear no relationship. This is particularly poor practice with movements that are harmonically connected, such as the third and fourth movements of this sonata. The dominant chord at the end of the third movement provides an unbreakable link to the next movement. I think this is best played in tempo, with the quarter note beat of the andante approximating the dotted quarter note tempo of each measure in the vivace. I have written articles and provided videos that further explain tempo relationships and the term tactus. It appears that performance practice in London during Handel's time emphasized tempo relationships. This was evidenced by the barrel organ. Writings by Quantz and others indicated that they viewed tempos in relationships as well. I think that there is a strong case to be made that the movements of Vivaldi concertos, as well as the movements of the Mozart bassoon concerto, are best performed with tempo relationships. I encourage you to explore this issue further with the Baroque and classical music you perform. I recommend tempos of 108 to link the first and second movements. That's an eighth note for the first movement and a quarter note for the second movement. And the tempo of 44 to link the third and fourth movements. That's 44 for the quarter note in the third movement and 44 for the dotted quarter, which would be an entire measure of the last movement. Well, this concludes my discussions on the Telemann F. Dorian Sonata. I hope that these videos have provided important information about this work, the performance practice at the time, and ways in which you can better practice and present the sonata. The last video in the series is a recording that I made with colleagues, Drs. Mengelkock and Borowski, in January 2020. I hope that you enjoy the performance. God bless you.